serpent keep you. I'll never forget the day of the accident. Such a display of power. It's a wonder Heretic
Can't be doing this ranting for nonsense. This is exactly the impression we don't want to give.
Please, Jamal. It's not up for discussion. Worked so hard to achieve. It's done.
No, you'd risk our future and reputation.
Don't patronize.
But you're right. I'll be heading back soon enough. Yes?
So, Ekris has sent our newest harbinger to inquire about Sahima. Don't worry, Jamal's already told me all about you. I'm Razma, Elder of House Kadik and head of the Ministry of Conjunction. Well, it's also an honor to meet one as interesting as yourself. I wouldn't have suspected an outsider to be made promised. But who am I to argue with the Great Serpent's choice? I know the Council is looking to Sahima for answers, but the truth is, she's been taken, along with other members of the House. They're being held hostage by Zealots, and now they're demanding negotiations.
This is a major overreach. I have never known the Zealots to be so bold.
As much as I'd welcome the expertise, the Zealots would never allow an outsider to participate. But the negotiations aren't where I need assistance. The Zealots have yet to name specifics. At best, they'll demand an inordinate amount of credits or firearms. Worst case, a seat at the High Council or even the reinstatement of their house. House Maleen. They know we can't risk Sahima for Dazra's sake. So, they won't hold back when it comes to demands. Aha. My thoughts exactly. Normally I'd have agents doing everything possible to find them. But we too suffered losses. We need to be here. Present. I couldn't risk more lives. It's the only reason I even agreed to these negotiations. But now that you're here, I can finally take action. And that's where the issue lies. I don't know where the Zealots are keeping Sahima, but I have a good idea who does. Their name is Merrick. Merrick is a Kadik, and they also work for me as an agent in the Ministry of Conjunction. This is where matters get complicated. I suppose this looks very black and white to you. If only that were the case. As I said, Merrick works for me in the Ministry of Conjunction. They've been establishing an inside relationship with the Zealots for some time now, on my orders. Forcing them to give up the information could jeopardize all they've worked for. So don't expect them to be forthcoming. Get the information any way you see fit, as long as no physical harm comes to them.
Understood.
The Zealots don't trust easily. If their location was discovered, Merrick would most likely be the first they'd suspect. They'd never trust them or any agent of House Kadik again. The people of Dazra look to us elders for strength and guidance. We cannot fail them at a time like this. Don't let my composure fool you, promised? It's neither easy, nor something I take lightly. What better way to surveil a threat It's important for us to know what the Zealots may be targeting, to stay one step ahead. Merrick is proud of what they've accomplished, so I doubt they'll give up information easily. If being persuasive isn't your strong suit, perhaps appealing to their substantial ego may help. If you can stomach it. Just don't be direct. I'm sure it would put them on the defensive. Either that, or make them completely unwilling to talk. See that you do. You'll find Merrick upstairs in the meditation room.
Your focus should be on Rasmus' needs and assisting House Kadik. Don't take it personally. We have been through so much these last few weeks. The Council is attempting to claw back some semblance of order from the chaos, steer things past this somehow. And then Malibor goes and throws you into the middle of all this without even consulting us. It's just one more breach of a protocol that barely exists anymore. I am over it, I assure you. It is good to have you with us, and we are finally moving forward. I was on a walk, nearing Jinan Plaza. My view of the Citadel was clear. I saw the windows flood with light and then a flash so bright, I was forced to turn away. Until next time.
Chosen, promised.
Anything back yet?
None. I feared the worst.
You were. The Great
Even
Serpent
so,
spared
I'm
so
a warrior
many of
at
us,
heart.
yet
Perhaps
you'll
this
still feel the
wasn't
loss.
the best plan.
You must have gotten the location. Very resourceful. And luckily, a location I'm familiar with. If my intel is correct, you can find Shadow Station Epsilon in the Badlands, north of Dazra. I can send you the coordinates. Epsilon was once a research station, with a focus on grav drive manipulation. The Zealots have since vastly expanded upon it. But it makes sense if they intend to use Sahima to their advantage. Shadow Station Epsilon is one of many Zealot bases scattered throughout. As I mentioned before, I wasn't willing to risk agent lives in order to scout them all. If anything happens to the hostages, they will lose a lot more than leverage.
We will do whatever is necessary to bring Sahima and the others back safely.
Now that we have a rescue mission underway, I'll speak to Merrick about setting up the negotiations. The current plan is to hold them at one of the geothermal power stations. Meet us there when Sahima and the others are safe. I see you have a grasp on how these types of negotiations work. I'll stall the Zealots as long as I can, which shouldn't be an issue. That being said, I'd still appreciate it if you could act quickly. Now, Jamal wants an update before you leave. Just don't let her distract you for too long.
That's just it. When I'm with them, it's like associating with anyone here in Dazra. They aren't the mindless fanatics people make them out to be. Sympathetic to the Zealot cause? No. But sympathetic to the people? Yes. I don't deny the Zealots are violent religious extremists. But that doesn't mean they are heartless, emotionless killers. They have families, and people they care for just like us. I see them as strongly misguided individuals that need help. Serpent guide you.
House Kadik seems to have remained largely unscathed. How fortunate for them.
I'm glad to see you. Thank you for the...
Harbinger, a word before you go. Tell me, Harbinger, what do you know about the Zealots? How magnanimous. The Zealots are widely frowned upon within our society. They're a remnant of the Serpent's Crusade, days we'd like to forget. I see. Should have expected as much. Rasma would have everyone believe she only wishes to keep an eye on the Zealots, so the Council can make informed decisions. The truth is, she's had this particular group of Zealots under her thumb for quite some time. This is only a problem now because she's lost control. That is the real reason why Rasma hasn't informed the High Council, and I'm sworn to silence.
I would argue that what you describe would be considered treason. And rightly so.
Yes, I'll get to that momentarily. As a member, I can say it certainly is not. House Kadik already has a reputation for being sympathetic to the Zealots, but the truth is far worse. Rasma wants the Zealots to back House Kadik, so the balance of power between the noble houses would shift to us. She's been employing them, paying them in supplies that aid their blind crusade. There are several members who are sympathetic toward them or their cause. Some see beyond their extremist veneer and believe they're just misguided. A very small few may believe Jandar truly was the rightful heir, but none would ever admit it. I'm certain it's the case that members of the other houses feel the same. House Kadik is just the only one who's been exposed for it. Rasma would believe they want to reintegrate or even reestablish House Malene, and she's a fool for it. The Zealots want nothing but the means to carry out their war. Credits, weapons, and ships. And these very supplies would be used to harm not only your people, but our own as well. It's not for everyone. What none of us expected was the disaster that is the Scaled Citadel. The aftermath is what allowed the Zealots to grab Sahima and the others, flipping the balance of power in their favor. Rasma has lost control and is putting House Kadik's reputation and power at risk. She only appears that way now because she has you to fix it. House Kadik shouldn't be associating with Zealots at all, except on an extermination level. But worse, we absolutely cannot be supplying them with ordnance of any kind. We need to cut ties with the Zealots altogether. Exposing this information to the Council would condemn not only Rasma, but House Kadik along with her. I have no wish to tarnish our house or ruin my sister. I simply want to show her the error of her ways. Far from it. I want you to put an end to any connections between House Kadik and the Zealots. And while my position won't allow me to be blunt, I'll still make it clear. Should the hostages not survive, Rasma would blame the Zealots and cut all ties.
House Kadik would go to any lengths, it seems.
Perhaps you don't understand. These noble houses have existed for generations. The people look up to us to guide them under the will of the Great Serpent. The fall of a noble house would put everything into question. And with the state Dazra is in right now, I won't allow that to happen. Those few lives will be nothing compared to the lives the Zealots will take if House Kadik continues to supply them. Sacrificing them would open my sister's eyes, quelling any sympathy and desire to work with the Zealots. Once Rasma no longer sees the Zealots as an ally, the rest will soon follow. What we need is Sahima's research, which she has with her. You just need to bring it back. I knew you'd be reasonable, Harbinger. You'll receive payment when your work is complete. As you may have guessed, we can't afford any loose ends, and you'll need a cover story for Rasma. When you arrived, the Zealots had already killed the hostages, so you exacted revenge in House Kadik's name. Yes, but don't worry. I'll be there to reinforce what Rasma already knows. The Zealots cannot be trusted. See that you do. I look forward to seeing you at the
Don't let Jamal distract you too long. I need you to act. So that's what Jamal wanted to speak with you about. If you're insinuating that I care more for power than my own family, you are sadly mistaken. The safety of this house and its people are of utmost priority to me. To be fair, I won't deny that, yes, I would like to see House Kadik become the new Varun. But show me an elder who thinks differently. Hostile or not, they are an effective means to an end, and often the perfect cover as well. We are limited here by our secrecy, but the Zealots are not, for the most part. They're not only our last resort, they're our only resort. Because I see it as a semblance of control, due to our work at the Ministry of Conjunction, we know what they have and what they intend to do with it. This odd relationship keeps our people safe and gives the Zealots a level of dependency on us. Something we use to our advantage. Harbinger.
I hope when you return to the settled systems, you'll aid in showing them the true path.
to be unreasonable the whole time? I thought this was a negotiation.
We're having a friendly chat, aren't we? It's not my fault you don't find my offers acceptable.
Just the person I wanted to see. Please, tell me you bring good news. Serpent, steal me.
These are exactly the actions I warned you about, Rasma.
What's going on here? And who is this? These are private negotiations. Or have you forgotten?
Oh, these are hardly negotiations when you have nothing to barter with, Mihail. Did you think I wouldn't find out? And this is Anasco's chosen harbinger. He infiltrated your base and has just informed me that my nieces and nephews aren't even alive!
Lies! Would I be here otherwise?
Of course you would. You've been waiting for this moment, to hold power over one of Dazra's noble houses.
Of course I did. But why would I jeopardize the perfect advantage?
And do you think we'll believe your word over Anasco's chosen?
These negotiations are done, Mihail. House Kadik is through dealing with you and your kind.
You'll regret this betrayal. All of you. This so-called Harbinger is nothing but a false idol. He's not even one of us! A heretic, here to lead you all astray! I should purge you where you stand. Prepare to be made dust.
Something I can do for you? You've gone above and beyond. All must serve.
House Kadik is in your debt. For better or worse. Well spoken, Harbinger. I should have listened to you, Jamal. You were always the wiser one.
You give me too much credit, sister. You are the house elder for a reason.
Yes. And our house has suffered many losses. From one catastrophe to the next. Your overly harsh response is unwarranted. But I can't argue the sentiment.
The Harbinger is right. We will see this through and be stronger for it. But we need to turn our attention toward the mourning device.
Yes. And I assume you were able to recover Sahima's research. I'm only glad my uncle didn't live long enough to know her fate. Go. Head back to Dazra. See that Ekris gets it. And hopefully this plan of his will work.
And Harbinger, a token of my gratitude for aiding House Kadik.
With the High Council no longer pressuring me, breaking the news of our recent losses will be my new priority. Be quick, Harbinger. Ekris awaits. Until next time.
But even more satisfying knowing I have the upper hand. Why would I jeopardize that?
And do you think we'll believe your word over Anas?
These negotiate.
You'll regret this, but this Sook, he's not even... I should... I am prepared. Are you? So what's a few more? They are our more valuable assets. The entire refuge? It can't be possible. Something to consider? Perhaps I've misjudged you, Harbinger.
Now, you can see why he's been chosen.
I wouldn't go that far. We'll leave. but only because it's the Serpent's will that we spread the word of House Kadik's heresy. The next time we see any of you or your people, it will be for blood. I will see you cleansed for your lies. Next time I see you, you're dust. You'll pay for your treachery. Next time I see
Mihail will not.
you're dust.
House Kadik is in your debt. For better or worse. True, the Zealots have long been the strongest point of contention within the House. I should have listened to you, Jamal.
You give me too much.
Yes. Now that Jamal and I are aligned, it's a chance we'll take full advantage of. I only wish it didn't take...
The Harbinger is right. We will see this through and be stronger for it.
Yes. And I... At least we had some level of success. Go. Head back to Doc.
And Harbinger.
Remember our agreement.
Who are you? Thank the Serpent, but I can't leave yet. It's more than just me. There are others. The Zealots have been using them to force me to continue my research here. They think I have all the answers since the original experiment was a catastrophic failure.
The Zealots were wise in their tactics. Up until now.
Well, the Zealots think they are forcing me to continue my research here. They want me to apply my theories to Anasco's scaled Citadel debacle. Somehow they ascertained my previous involvement. The original experiment. The one that took out half of Dazra and sealed off the scaled Citadel. Surely you must know. I'm sorry. I realize the elders and council members may not be properly disseminating this information. I'm not one for politics, obviously.
Curse you.
To reiterate, it's more than just me. The Zealots have been using... They think I have all the... Are you saying my theory is correct? I knew it! I told them their algorithms and insufficient testing were only giving the illusion of stability. But no one wants to listen to me. Not the girl who put people twice my age to shame when it came to assessments. Of course, this is what it would take for Razma to send someone after me. We were taken amidst the chaos, so I never did get to fully observe the repercussions of the devastation, but... I overheard the Zealots mention negotiating with House Kadik, so the motivations are clear. Not only does the High Council deem me important, but Razma needs to remove me from the equation. I get it. But at least now everyone knows I was right. Yes, let's change focus. Step 1, we need to free the other hostages. The Zealots aren't aware of how I've been delving into their systems here. I told them I needed full access if they expect me to replicate Anasco's experiment, and I didn't even bother with risk assessment. They think I'm applying my theories to their poor excuse for technology down here. Granted, I could probably make it work if I had to. Right. Focus. The other hostages are being kept just beyond this room. I can disengage the locks to their cell and grant you access to an elevator in the room beyond that will take them to safety. You'll just have to clear out that area first, and the Zealots down there are... different. I fear you may have no choice here. Just be careful. Usual tactics are unlikely to work against them. While you get the rescue underway, I'm going to set up certain guarantees here. I'll meet you and the others outside. Well, you have to. I just need enough time to set up a remote device so I can launch a virus that will render this place useless. Think of it as a failsafe to guarantee our safety. The Zealots would never risk this base or their ships. These are Zealots we're dealing with. The only reason they even have hostages is to make sure I stay in line. I couldn't threaten them without knowing the others were safe. No way. It's probable that we'll make it, and when we do, I'm handing this over to a familiar face. No offense. Now move it. You've got hostages to free.
Zealot? Who are you? The Great Serpent is merciful. And Sahima? Did you find her yet? We haven't been able to observe much. They are physically superior, stronger, faster. They ignore pain and are resistant to things that would take any normal person down in an instant. I'm not sure what the Zealots have done to create them, but I would surmise the process was less than pleasant. We haven't been able to... They are physically... I'm not sure... If only there were more of us down in the caves. Look, we can't just leave. The Zealots separated us. Our brethren are still out there. Please, I can ready my people here, but you'll have to deal with the Zealots and rescue the others so we may all escape safely. I'll be keeping an eye out, so we'll be ready.
Great Serpent, protect me. The Great Serpent has heard me. Thank you.
thank the Serpent. I thought I was done for.
The Great Serpent was truly watching over us. By the Serpent, you did it!
That's everyone accounted for. You did it! It's true what they say. The air really does smell fresher.
Serpent bless you. We owe you our lives. Thank you.
Yes, since that's truly what's important here. Anyway, it's probably time you started heading to those negotiations. I'm going to stay back a moment and make sure everyone here is okay to make it back safely. I'll catch up with you shortly. Just let me know where the negotiations are taking place. Of course. I successfully rigged a remote device to shut this whole place down the moment I see a zealot. I just need a moment to make sure everyone is fine. Have I mentioned I'm sick of people telling me what to do? I'm staying. I'll be there when it counts. Now go.
I can't thank you enough for saving us.
Don't worry, I'll be there. This virus I've been working on will overload every major system within Epsilon. Not only that, but any ships that I worked on here within the past few days will get hit as well, as long as they're within range. I may have the Kadik name, but I've never felt like a true part of the family. House Kadik prefers agents and envoys for the Ministry of Conjunction. Scientists take a back seat. Without all this drama, I'd be willing to bet she couldn't even remember my name. They think I'm the key to opening the gateway to the Great Serpent. For them, it's both a race against House Varun, and also proof that they were right, that Jandar was Genon's rightful heir. Luckily, none of them are scientifically minded enough to know I spent all my time delving into their systems and developing a virus. They're dangerous. I've only caught glimpses of them and hacked into a few messages regarding them, so I don't know much myself. They've been altered somehow. Cybernetics, mental and physical conditioning? I couldn't say without examining one for myself. I'm not exaggerating when I say they'd be better off made dust.
By the Serpent, you did it!
I just want to go home.
Yes?
Bless you for saving
May
us.
the Serpent guard you.
Is your intent to be unreasonable the whole time? I thought this was a negotiation.
We're having a friendly chat, aren't we? It's not my fault you don't find my offers acceptable.
Nah, just the person I wanted to see. Please tell me you bring good news. Good. Now it's my turn to watch me hail squirm.
Razma, who is this? You allow any commoner to just waltz in on official business. I'd expect better security from House Kadik.
This is hardly official business.
Yes. And now these so-called negotiations are over.
Over? You'd risk everything after the whispers of a stranger. I demand to know who this is. Freestar Rangers have no power here. Only a complete fool would expect me to believe this.
It's true, Mihail. And if you don't leave now, peacefully, I'll make sure your ships and Shadow Station Epsilon are made dust.
You... How did you... You're bluffing.
Test me. You think a genius mind like mine wouldn't find a way to hack into every system in your base? This remote device will launch a virus that will detonate systems within Epsilon, and reach your ships as well.
You realize how this may affect future partnerships, Razma. You'd jeopardize our connections.
It jeopardizes nothing. It merely restores the natural order.
The natural order. I could take you all out here and now. You'll know every one of us is prepared to answer the Serpent's call.
You're so willing to sacrifice your allies at Shadow Station Epsilon?
You don't think they're as prepared as we are? We all answer the call, and if that day is today, so be it. Let's get this over with.
These are such a gift. Your enemies might disagree.
I can't believe they wouldn't just walk away.
Hello, excellent to see you.
Let's hope Mihail's death leaves a lasting impression with the Zealots. Your actions today were very telling, Harbinger. I misjudged your compassion for the people of the settled systems. But we need not speak further of this. What's done is done. And you have Rasmus' gratitude, if not mine. Serpent guide you.
House Kadik is in your debt.
As am I. I owe you my life.
Sahima, you are a part of this house.
I know. I just wanted to say thank you. Personally. And here, it's the research and algorithm the High Council wants. I'm sure they'll appreciate it more coming from you. As much as I'd love to gloat, I have enough awareness to know this isn't the time. And I know myself well enough to know that I simply wouldn't hold back. You're welcome. It's been quite the life experience I've had lately. If you have any spare time, maybe come find me later? Great. You can find me at the Great House whenever you get the chance.
We'll talk later, Sahima. As I was saying, House Kadik is in your debt. You've helped me maintain a very precarious balance. Is it luck? Or the will of the Serpent? Had not so much transpired leading up to your arrival, I may have felt differently. As for what's transpired, I'd appreciate it if you kept this a secret. A fair price to pay for silence. The others involved know better than to speak of this. House ties run deep. Betraying one's house is a display of disloyalty that no house would tolerate. It's a guaranteed way to ostracize yourself in a society like ours. As House Elder, I know my family well enough. We're all well aware of our unspoken agreements. Now, I have much to do, and so do you. Ekris and the High Council will be expecting you. With the High Council no longer pressuring me, I can turn a different kind of zealot. Altered? It's disturbing to think of zealots delving into some form of physical enhancement. I'll make sure the other members of the Ministry are aware of it. We'll want to make sure we're prepared, should we begin to see more of these altered zealots you speak of. If you ask me, it's her analytic mind that can't stop dwelling on things that don't matter. I care about all members of House Kadik, regardless of how they came to join us. Blood, marriage, adoption, we are all family. I value our great scientific minds, but my focus lies in the Ministry of Conjunction, and I think that's what she's come to dwell on. Good. In an ideal world, we'd all split time equally between what we care about. But when it comes to politics in Dazra, it's just not possible. It won't take long before the Zealots hear of this. They'll posture and protest, but when I need them, they'll come around. The Zealots don't exactly have a reliable supply chain, unless you count preying on others. Until next time.
You're no one. Only a complete fool.
It's true, Mihail.
You
Test me. This remote...
realize you'd
It jeopardizes.
the natural? You'll know it.
Are you sure?
You'll launch that virus, and I guarantee blood will spill. What's there to reconsider? No, but it's the death they know is possible. Besides, you think I'd turn my back on the insults thrown here today?
You mean, do we think you'd throw away your life and the lives of everyone at Shadow Station Epsilon over your pride, Mihail? No, I for one don't think you will. And you can't deny our partnerships have been beneficial for us both.
As much as our people may disagree, Jandar would see you sacrifice your life in direct service to the Great Serpent. Both would have you die, cleansing the accursed, and turning those who may listen to his shadow. You know this to be true, Mihail. A true promised lives only to serve. And your death today would serve nothing.
Blessed sister, you speak truth. I have been blinded by pride, but your words have guided me back to the path. All right. I won't deny my brethren the death they deserve. But I won't forget this either. Don't think this won't change anything, Razma.
Things have already changed, Mihail. From the moment you kidnapped House members. These negotiations are over. Now leave us.
You have no idea how satisfying that was.
Keep your distance.
Don't think this is over. The Serp enjoy watching your back, false promised.
I can't believe the Zealots listened to you.
Something I can do for you?
I couldn't have asked for it.
Let's just hope your actions I misjudged, but we need not speak. Serpent guide you.
House Kadik, is it?
As am I.
Sahima.
I know. And here, I'm sure they'll appreciate. I'm going back to check on the others, but maybe come find me when you're done. Great. You can find me at the Great House whenever you get the check.
We'll talk later. See, as I was saying, you've helped me. As for what you've learned here in regards to the Zealots, I'd appreciate it if you kept... Our relationship with the Zealots has always proven beneficial, especially when it comes to our work at the Ministry of Conjunction. The only reason they gained any semblance of power was due to the gross miscalculations of Anasco and his research team. Exposing this information to the High Council will only diminish House Kadik's power. Some alliances are worth the risk, but that will be for the High Council to decide, should you decide to play the informant. The others involved know better than to speak of this. As much as it disappoints me, I can't say I'm surprised. Jamal's never cared for our view with the Zealots, and she has no love for those taken. But this is what makes her an excellent mediary. You and the rest of our house. Now, I have much to do, and so do you. Ekris and the High Council will be expecting you.
You've served House Kadik well today. I'm sure. Well done, Harbinger. As far as I'm concerned, the High should any time if the other spot. But I hope you're Great Serpent keep you.
Razma is under tremendous pressure as of late. The Serpent's got...
Harbinger, it's good to see you again. Perhaps the Great Serpent has blessed us with the second meeting to make up for the first one. A hostage situation is hardly the place to make a good first impression. You have, but not in any familial way. It was mostly business from what I gather. Anyway, while it's good to take a breath and relax, I do like a good adventure. In fact, I have to admit, I'm a little envious of your situation. I'm stuck here in the house while you are traveling the stars, discovering new orbits, and building a bridge for the Promised. A life that you could include me in, maybe? I promise you, you won't regret it. I don't want to brag, but I'm proficient at just about everything. Of course! Jinan Varun was a traveler, like yourself. He is proof that through exploration, we find our purpose. Oh, don't you dare. Don't doubt me like everyone else in my life. Because I know you're different. Yes, I don't look like a soldier. I barely pass for an adult. But I can hold my own. Okay, maybe I like bragging a little. But it's not a lie, truly. The Great Serpent has blessed us both with gifts. If we work together, I know we can help each other grow them. The Great Serpent teaches us that no road is a straight one. Your doubts will pass once we spend some time together. I'm sure of it. But first, stupid question, but do you happen to know where my assignment is? Okay, no assignment. Not a problem. I'm used to delays. Just let me know when you have a place in mind.
Serpent, watch over.
I wonder what your presence here means for the Ministry of Conjunction.
Our physical house was spared in the incident. If that doesn't show favor, I don't know what does.
It is pleasing to speak with you. I appreciate our little discussions, you know.
The outsiders will come to accept his embrace, just as you did.